This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish, founder of Abish Financial Services.
We see a lot of successful do-it-yourself investors, but there's a major difference between pedal to the metal, getting up that retirement mountain, and then descending down the mountain safely into retirement.
You've worked hard your whole life to earn and save. Now you need a plan to make that money work hard for you.
Hang in there, and the markets will come back, and we're in the same boat as you. Is not comforting for someone who is 58, 65, 72, and there have got to be better ways to do things, and there are.
Abe is here to help you unlock the keys to your retirement.
There is just so much going on. The work at the Abish Financial Services office. You guys, you're literally hiring people right now. You're literally, every time I talk to you, I got to interview people. We have so many people calling us, so many people we want to help, that you need to get more help at the office.
We are. We're hiring a handful of people right now, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But we are busy, and hey, there's a lot of people to help, and 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every single day for the next 10 years. There's tons of opinions out there. There's tons of advice out there.
Yep.
There are not enough specialists in helping people to transition and prepare for a phase 2 retirement. So that's what we do, and that's why the phones are ringing all the time and why we're so busy. And we consider it a privilege and an honor to help people transition into retirement so they can spend their golden years not worrying about the stock market and CNBC. Right, every single day.
That's right. So important.
Yep.
My dad is guilty of it. I'll hear him, and he'll say he woke up at 2 or 3 in the morning, and he rolled over and he turned on whatever news network, and I'm like, don't do that. You're never going to get back to sleep. And I think also that notion of, you were saying, there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions out there, and I think that there's a lot of blanket advice being issued, but what you really need is advice for your specific situation. So it's fine. Yeah, so it's fine to watch the news and listen to the news, but when it comes down to your plan, that's when we got to get specific and focus on your goals. But we also we got to think about the bigger picture stuff and how it affects us on the micro level, Abe, because just thinking about what we've been seeing with the Fed, the Federal Reserve has signaled that it may raise interest rates at least 2 more times before it even considers a pause in doing so. And economist Jeremy Siegel was telling Fox Business that he believes that that is a mistake. Here's what he said.
Jay Powell already says the biggest force of monetary policy works with a lag. It's sometimes 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. So this tremendous tightening, one of the greatest in history, its effects have not been felt. I would prefer that they stop now. I think there's enough evidence that the prices are down, that they could pause and wait and see the course. I think continued increases will increase the risk of a recession in the second half of this year.
So he's saying that it could take up to a year to feel the effects of the rates and the raises they've made in those, which makes us want to ask you, Abe, what does that mean for somebody who is hoping to retire in the next year or two within that time frame?
It means for a scary, concerning time, right? I mean, here we are, if you are pulling the trigger and retiring in 2023, 2024, and you're retiring right in the middle of all this mess.
Yep.
How can you not be concerned?
Right.
How can you not be questioning, is this the right time for me to retire? Do I have enough money? Do I have my stuff in order? Do I have a plan put in place, a specialized, customized plan for me to address all of these risks as much as I possibly can? So that's why we encourage picking up the phone, setting up a customized where do I stand plan. That's what a phase 2 retirement plan is, folks. It is a plan to help you transition into retirement, to help you protect yourselves against all the risks and pitfalls that can mess up a great phase 1 accumulation and investment plan. So it makes for a pretty scary, daunting time, but there's a ton that we can't control out there, right, Heather? We can't control the tax environment and the markets and inflation. We can't control the country's national debt and the war in Europe and on, the balloons, hovering over the country. You can't control any of that stuff, but what you can control to a large degree is the risk you're taking on in your stock market investments and in your portfolio. You can control putting together a plan if you don't have one. So that's what we encourage, to our clients. Put together a plan that is right for you. So we just had a client call in and come into the office, a prospective client who became a client from Frederick, Maryland. They're in their mid-60s. They are federal government employees with TSPs and the FERS pensions. They're retiring this year, and they have about $1.2 million saved. They're pretty low on our risk scale. They're a 4, so they prefer that 60% of their life savings be protected, be more safely invested, and have conservative stance to it. With maybe 40%, they're okay with about 40% having some ups and downs and being invested with more risk associated there. And their problem with their plan, Heather, was that, number one, they had no plan.
Right.
And so here they are looking to transition into retirement, and they knew how to save, and they were great workers, and they're going to have pensions and Social Security and TSPs. They had no idea how to put this all together into a plan. They had no idea how to address all the concerns that they hear so many people talking about, which are inflation and market volatility and taxes. Those are the three biggest concerns for them, and healthcare, actually, a fourth one there. And so what we did is we put together a comprehensive plan to address all of this, starting with proper allocations, right? Get those monies rolled over to us so they're tactically managed, put together in portfolios that wrap protections around their life savings so that a large portion of their life savings is protected from market volatility and loss. Moving over to our management there, tactical money management. The next step was tax planning. They were concerned that, the entire $1.2 million that they have in their TSPs and 401ks is all pre-taxed. Mm-hmm. So we talked about Roth conversions, and we talked about life insurance and long-term care and how to get these dollars out of their pre-taxed accounts into tax-free buckets. Yeah. Well, you just don't want to take a random stab at that. You want to run a tax mapping report. You want to run a tax plan to see what is wise, what is prudent. How much should we consider converting over into tax-free buckets this year? Because taxes may or may not go up. They probably will go up, but nothing's guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So we want to be smart about that. We want to pay our fair share, not any more than we need to. All of this was put together for them, Heather, in a comprehensive Where Do I Stand plan. It addressed all the risks that they were concerned with that can foul up a great accumulation plan. That was their $1.2 million. Mm-hmm. So we created a phase 2 distribution and income-focused plan that would address these major risks that they were concerned with and that so many of our callers are concerned with.
Abe, the irony about all these things that we talk about, how exhausting they can feel for any individual to take on. It is not lost on me that we got to talk about the conversation of making sure we get enough sleep. Thinking about things that we hope to enjoy in our retirement, taking naps is likely one of the luxuries you look forward to. But when it comes to our napping skills as a nation, it is not really that much of a surprise that we've got nothing on other countries. In China, 88% say they've made naps a regular habit versus 13% of Americans. In Japan, they actually allow napping at work. Abe, we could all use more sleep, but something that we do not want to sleep on is our savings. So what steps could we take to send a wake-up call of sorts to our money, particularly for somebody who wants to retire within the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years?
Heather, let me just tell you, I love naps, by the way.
Who doesn't?
A 20-minute nap, 30-minute nap, oh my gosh, I'm like a new man. Like a new man. Shelley, on the other hand, for some reason, some people take naps and she wakes up groggy.
Really?
It doesn't really help her, but man, you give me 20 minutes of some shut-eye and I'm a new man. I love naps. I don't get enough.
That's it. That's what I was just saying. We're all so sleep deprived.
You can't be sleeping here in the office on a retirement plan, right? So, and you don't want to be sleeping on your portfolio. Right. In other words, we have so many people we meet with, Heather, that haven't changed their portfolio allocations and investments in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Some people don't even open up their statements. Mm-hmm. So how the heck do you know what you're invested in and if it's the right thing for you as you transition into this next season of your life? So we just had a gentleman call into the show. He's from Fairfax, Virginia. He has about $3 million saved. Fantastic job of saving and investing. He's a 6 on our risk scale. So just slightly north of middle of the road there. Problem with him, as with so many people that walk into our office, 9 out of 10 people don't have this done, is he had no plan and no management of the investments. Needed consolidation. His accounts were everywhere. He needed help with distribution and income. He's retired. His wife's still working, and he was feeling a little vulnerable, right? Because he had, high income while he was working, and now he has nothing other than Social Security. And the wife's like, you better figure out, how to generate me some income from that $3 million bucks. Mm-hmm. And so he was looking for ways to put the portfolio to work, right? He's not working anymore. Also, he was looking for ways to lower the fees. He realized he was paying high fees on his investments and looking for ways to lower the risk, because he was one of these people that has had the same investments for 10, 15, 20 years without changing them. Yeah. And they served him really well, Heather. I mean, he's got to $3 million bucks. He knew how to save and put it away. Yeah. And let it grow deferred and let the market work for him. And here he is realizing, you know what, Abe, I think I've won the game. And he was right. He has won the game. He has $3 million saved of his own money. His wife has her own. Mm-hmm. She's still working. He's retiring at 64. And hey, if we can make 4% on that $3 million on average per year, that's $120,000 of income. If we can make 3%, that's $90,000 a year of interest income we could generate from the portfolio. And I would say most retirement planners and advisors would probably say, yeah, we could make 3 or 4% long term. That'd probably be pretty easy to do with not a lot of risk.
Okay.
So he's realizing he won the game, but he's realizing at the same time, he has no plan. He has no exit strategy. He has no way to put this big bucket of money together in a specialized, customized, income-generating plan that he and his wife can be happy with and that addresses all the risks that they are concerned with. So the solution for them was to put together a portfolio x-ray that showed him the strengths and weaknesses of all of his investments. You don't want to be making changes to your investments or anything in general until you understand the pros and cons of what you have. Once he saw the pros and cons of what he owned, we were able to show him side by side, well, here's the cost of our, investments would be, here's the cost of our management, here's the differences, here's the lowering of risk and standard deviation, here's the plan and the roadmap we would follow every 90 days with you as you come on board with us and put together the plan. So for those of you listening right now, if you sound a little bit like this gentleman and his wife, and you've got a good bit of money saved, but you have no plan and no strategy to get you into phase 2, to get you into retirement so you can enjoy your golden years without worrying about the stock market, you need that same portfolio x-ray and analysis we gave to this gentleman, a wake-up call, if you will, a second opinion on everything you've done for your investments, the pros and cons, the costs, the risk, all of that. If you're 55 and older, and if you've saved $500,000 or more for your retirement, go to retirementkeyradio.com. Click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the page, and we can begin to have these same conversations with you as well.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish. To learn more about Abish Financial Services, visit retirementkeyradio.com. And join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. on WMAL.
Investment advisory services offered through Abish Financial Wealth Management, LLC, number 310633, a registered investment advisor firm. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abish Financial Services, Inc., Virginia Insurance License number 127820.